So, the Death Note movie, I just finished it, and I dove into it not expecting anything really. I was thinking this movie is based on the anime, but probably worse than the anime. So, yeah, and I have to say, I enjoyed it. It's a good movie overall, for sure. Although at the end it's a bit strange and I'm not sure if it's satisfactory, but throughout it's pretty damn good. And I think if someone did not see Death Note the anime, they would enjoy this movie a lot more than people who have seen the anime. That's just what I think, so if you haven't seen the anime yet, I would suggest watching the movie and then watching the anime, and you will be blown away. And yeah, they are extremely different, although similar. Although they start out pretty much the same, they somehow take an alternate path that still is really samey and familiar, and it's kind of hard to distinguish them. But I think the main difference is that the movie is not tense at all versus the anime. The anime is tense all the time. And I watched somebody analyze Death Note a while back, and the anime could do like 40 different scenes in one movie or something like that. Maybe if it was 40 different beats. I don't know. Like when you start a scene a certain way, then something changes and they have a different mood at the end of that scene. Like Death Note the anime changes this a lot. Like in one episode you will have like 20 different scenes, which means 20 different times people change their mood. And it's amazing. But the movie doesn't do that nearly as much as the anime, and there's no internal dialogue or monologue or thinking. Like we don't hear any thinking out loud, and that's the main difference between the anime really, that we don't know what the protagonist or the antagonist thinks, and we can see them do certain actions and stuff, but it just doesn't connect in the same way that the anime does. And also one thing that I don't quite get in the movie that is very different from the anime is that there is a relationship here. Like it feels like it's trying to be a romance, but it's not quite there. It doesn't quite succeed at being a romance. So I don't really know. I don't know how to feel about that. How Light's in a relationship with this girl in this class, and together they are kinda Kira. Like she does something, he does something, but mainly it's him. But she goes off and does stuff on her own that messes with his plans, and maybe it turns out better, maybe it turns out worse because of that. I don't really know. I don't know how to feel. Because it feels like they're trying to go for romance, but they're just not quite there, and yet I feel like if they went full on romance and actually focused more on that, then I feel like the movie would be worse and wouldn't be done the same way. So, I don't know. Is the relationship where it should be, or should it not have been a relationship to begin with? I don't know. I don't really know. That's my honest opinion. I don't know. I can't even rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10 properly. I'm just gonna say at least 7, but I can't put a final score because I just don't know exactly how to feel. However, the movie does do a bunch of clever stuff that the anime does. Like it has very subtle foreshadowing that you could never guess what leads to, and some scenes you don't know why happen or what happens, but it's always explained later on. And the stuff in Death Note that's foreshadowing, you don't know is foreshadowing. There's no way to tell that it is foreshadowing because it's just one piece of the puzzle and it just seems like an ordinary thing. But later you realize that was just 1 out of 10 pieces necessary for the whole thing to work. And there's no way anyone can guess what's coming ahead from just one piece, and that's incredible. So they did do a really good job with that. The anime did it better, of course, with the internal monologue and all of that, but still, it's pretty good. I mean, when something happened and I didn't know quite what was going on or why it happened, and then they showed flashbacks to things we didn't know happened in the past, and I was like, mind blown. Yes. Good job. Very good job. And that's essentially the whole movie. Like, Light tries to kill people who are bad, L tries to find Light and expose him so he can be taken in, and yeah, that's just the whole movie really. He tries to kill people, tries not to get caught, he tries to catch him, kinda fails. Maybe he succeeds in the end, I don't know. Excuse me. Ah, but anyway, let's skip to the ending of the movie, and I'm not gonna say what happens in the end, I don't want a spoiler like that, but I want to say how the ending made me feel, and what, like, we don't have the proper words in English for me to actually explain what I want to say, because I'm not gonna spoiler the ending and say what it is, but I'm gonna say what the ending is, but how do you explain that? Like, English is so limited. I'll say, if you want zero spoilers on how the ending makes me feel, then choo choo, leave, shoo, shoo, away. So, the ending. Man. Like, I'm gonna consider the ending to have two different scenes. One is when there is a big dramatic thing, and the other one is where we're not sure, like the second scene, and where stuff is explained and how the very dramatic scene occurred, how all of that happened. And I have to say, in that very dramatic scene at the end, it was phenomenal, fantastic. I wasn't necessarily 100% sure why Light did what he did physically in that scene, but at the same time, that's probably what I would have done anyway, whether I had taken his path or not. I would probably have tried to do the same thing. And that scene just works, and I don't know what's going on, and holy crap, but it does a good job. But then the actual ending, the final scene, I'm amazed at how they fill us in, how everything was possible. I'm amazed that Light is just as smart as he was in the anime. He did a great job setting up these moments. But then I'm also kind of frustrated because of what happens with Ryu, the Death God, who, well, you learn his reaction throughout the movie, right? When he does it subtly and sometimes obviously. But it ends on a cliffhanger, and there are two possibilities, and I hate that. I hate that they didn't choose what's gonna happen, because now I'm just wondering what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen, man? I need to know. What happened? What happened? I wanna know. And there's not gonna be a sequel because, well, there can't be a sequel. This is kinda similar to the anime. I almost wanted to say just like the anime, but no. It's just like the anime where the only Kira is really Light, and with the cliffhanger at the end where there are two possibilities, no. I don't like either. I don't like what's going on here. I need to know, what did L do? What did he do? What did he choose to do? I don't know for sure. Especially since the L in the movie is a lot more emotional than the L in the anime. He could really go either way about his actions, but I'm gonna say he does what he would have done in the cafe earlier on. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's still that person at the core, and that's the way he chose to do it. But nah, I don't like how it ends on a cliffhanger like that without giving a clear answer. But yeah, that's my opinion on the Death Note movie. It's not as good as the anime, and it's mainly missing, I think, just the internal monologue and the tense feeling that the anime had. But other than that, it's a good standalone movie, and it's not really connected to the anime. It's just drawing inspiration from it. So yeah, I give it a thumbs up. It's enjoyable. I didn't expect it to be the anime, and it wasn't the anime. It was its own thing. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.